Hello everyone, I'm Dmitry Muktasimov and I'm here to share my 26 years of software engineering experience. And today we are going to see what IDE I'm using for Python development. And this will be PyCharm, as you already might see here. I have started it, but I want to go through all the steps that I need to set up a PyCharm project. We already covered pyenv and poetry in previous videos, so I will create a directory structure using pyenv and poetry, and then I will just use that directory structure with PyCharm. Okay, so let's go to the directory where all of my projects sit, and what I think I'm going to use this setup for the further videos. And one of the most recommended Python frameworks is Django, and I also recommend to use it if you have some sort of classic business logic monolith application. That would be the best choice. There are other cases where you might want to use Fast API or Flask or something else like Nameco, but if you need some just an application with a lot of business logic and just like a database and the business logic to it, I just strongly recommend to use Django, because you're going to save a lot of time instead of when you take Fast API or Flask, you actually have to develop Django out of it in some cases, because those missing parts that are already shipped in Django as built-in stuff, or something like third-party libraries that might be not existing in Fast API or Flask. So in that case, Django is preferable. Anyways, I'll just jump a little bit ahead of myself. We are going to set up just a simple project, but why I was talking about Django is because I have to give it a name. And this is another thing which is very important, to give descriptive names to the stuff you are doing, because when it comes to other developers joining the project, they are not going to be confused by strange names that don't correspond to what they actually have to describe. So that's why, since I'm going to use Django in my further steps, I'm going to name the project Django boilerplate. Okay, and I created a directory Django boilerplate. And open it. Well, just a little bit of a recap about what Python interpreter we are going to use. So let's see what is it going to be if you don't do anything. Let's say version, okay, 3.10. Okay, and let's see what we have in pyenv here. Okay, we have a whole bunch of versions, and I usually start with the latest versions of every dependency that I have to use on the project. So basically, with Python, I will pick the latest version for the project, because later it may be problematic to upgrade. There may be some other dependencies you have to resolve in order to upgrade. So when you start a project, it's the best time to pick the latest version. Unless you have other reasons not to pick it, like maybe you already have some dependencies, or you have an explicit request to use some certain version of your dependencies. But in our case, you don't need to support previous versions for our purposes. So basically, let's choose Python version 3.12. To do so, I say pyenv local 3.12.4. Alright, let's check if it worked. Alright, it worked, and we have Python version 3.12.4, and also let's see what we have in the directory here. And we have this little cute file, Python version, and it contains the Python version we just chosen. Alright, so the next step we should do is to initialize Poetry project, but before we will do that, I want to do another thing. I want to create like an empty Python module, because what happens is that Poetry does install the project, the project into the version env it creates. Well, it's one of its benefits. So we have to have that project properly installed. As you noticed here, I used Python between Django and boilerplate, and this is because in like most projects, most Python projects, this is how the Git repository is named on GitHub. It uses Python, and when you clone a Git repo, it's also creates a directory with Python. So in order to be consistent there, I use Python. But the trick is that Python modules, they do not support Python as a word separator. Instead, you should use underscore. So because of that, I will create the same, the directory named the same, but with underscore instead of Python. Okay, let's make the directory. Okay, I will replace Python with underscore. Oh, sorry. It was make dir. Okay. Actually, we are going to talk about make utility later, because I also use it in my projects in order to automate some tasks. Well, we created a directory, but that's not enough. We also need to create init file, init.py. Well, it was made like redundant, I think, in Python version 3, but unfortunately some tools still expect this file in a directory in order to consider this directory as a module, as a Python module that can be imported with import statement. So I suggest you create those files anyways, even if you already, I guess everybody already on Python version 3, you still create those init files in order to avoid those hard to debug issues. Okay, and I'm going to use this tool called touch. Okay, init.py. Okay, and we have empty file now, empty.file, and let's see what the entire directory structure we have. All right, it looks good. Now let's initialize the Poetry. Let's initialize the project with Poetry init. All right. It asks for package name, and we have to keep it with hyphen because this is a package name, like a package that is uploaded to PyPy. There is some sort of term confusion. There are Python modules that can contain submodules, and these modules, they also sometimes called packages, And the other thing that is called package is the package of the entire code base that you upload to PyPy or some other Python package repository. So in here, this package name meant is the name of the package that you're going to upload to PyPy or other Python repository. All right, I keep it the same, so I push enter version. Let's keep it as is. Description, author. Okay, let me be an author. License, don't know. Compatible version. Okay, as you see, it picked the right version of Python here. And one thing to mention, you see this hat symbol before the version name. So this means that it can be any subversion of version 3.12, like 3.12.1, 3.12.4, or any other, and it will be automatically picked and locked in a poetry log file. Do you want to define dependencies? No, I don't want to. We are going to add some dependencies though later. Okay, and do you like define development dependencies? No, I don't want. All right, is that, should I confirm? I confirm. Let's see what we have in the directory now. Okay, let's see the entire directory structure. So we have PyProject home file now. One thing to fix here, you either should create a README file or modify PyProject home to remove it, to remove the reference to it. I will just remove the reference because I don't know what to put to README at this moment, and I don't want to put anything right now. So I just remove it. Again, this is an excessive line, I guess. And one more thing, well, this is maybe someone of you don't know. I hope everyone knows though. So this actually doesn't contain the end of line, and I'd like to have an end of line for every line. So I put it here, right? And so I save it. Now let's install whatever we have in PyProject home. Port install. As you see, it created version and it also installed the package itself. Let's try. Let's activate the version env. So we do it by issuing Poetry shell. Okay, it's activated. Run Python correct version that we expected, and let's import our own project, Django boilerplate. Okay, it's imported, but we can't really check anything here, right? So let's do something else. Let's modify you usually do not put anything to init file, but sometimes you can put something like version. All right, let's put version 0.10. Save it. Run Python again. Import and see what version it is. So it perfectly imports the model. Okay, it's time to start using PyCharm. Let's find our newly created directory here, and where it is. I can see it. Yeah, I see it now. So this is Django boilerplate. You just choose the top level directory with the hyphen. OK, click OK. It just opens it and creates project. So whenever you open a directory with PyCharm, it just creates a project out of it. You don't have to create a project from the PyCharm. I sometimes do create it, but okay, we saw something there. Some data and skeletons. Oh, it's actually even picked the version env, I guess. This is interesting. This is the newest version of PyCharm. Earlier, as you see, I use Professional Edition. This is commercial paid version, which I recommend. It's just $20, I think, a month, or even less. So that's very affordable. You will get a lot more than the price of the IDE. Some people use VS Code. I haven't ever used it. Actually, I have some allergy to any Microsoft software, including Windows, of course. So some people use Vim with bunch of plugins, actually creating another IDE out of Vim. I use PyCharm. It's actually can be used for modifying some front-end parts of the software. It perfectly works with TypeScript, JavaScript. So it's really good. I strongly recommend you to try PyCharm, and you will love it. Although I should say that I'm not using all of its features, or a lot of features, and I just recently thought maybe I should learn more features of PyCharm that might improve my performance like a developer. But frankly speaking, most of the time the performance is limited by you being able to solve certain issues with the software or with the code, I mean, and to understand how the code works, but not with how fast you type the code. It's like, in most cases, it's like the least time-consuming thing, and so if you optimize it with IDE, yeah, it's good, but not the biggest thing. Well, I will show you some other some features that I actually use in IDE, very useful, like for example go to definition feature or show usages. That's incredible feature that saves a lot of time navigating over the code. Alright, so we have this project. Actually, let's get back to the our directory and see what happened here. And you see here is direct ID directory here, and let's actually see the entire structure. Oh, yeah, you have to say A. You see this IDE, it created gitignore, workspace, XML file. These are files with the information of the project. Alright, so let's check one thing. So we can open our file and modify it from here now, if you want to. Let's check if it picked the Python interpreter and virtual env correctly. So to do so, go to File Settings. Well, on the operating system it may be somewhere a different place. Just as a note. So we open Python interpreter and let's take a look. So it picked, well, it's actually picked it right, because you see here virtual env boilerplate, Django boilerplate. It picked it right because okay, we will also install Django now as a dependency and see if it actually picked it right. But I think it is, because Unfortunately, I only see a part. Oh, okay, no, I see the full path to Python interpreter. So here it is. But I actually will show you how to add an interpreter anyways, because if you have an earlier version, you might need to do that. Let's see. Say which Python, what is going to show. Okay, it's showing us the virtual env. It's been used, and let's check. Yeah, the same thing. Virtual envs, Django boilerplate, and this is this part. It looks like it's extracted from the path, from this path, from this path. I think it's extracted from this path somehow, because I mean generated based on this path. Because when I recreate poetry virtual env, for example, sometimes I needed to delete virtual envs. For example, there were cases with Python interpreter upgrade. So the easiest way to upgrade it, once you install it with pyenv, you just delete the virtual env that was created for previous Python version, and then just install the dependencies with poetry again, and it will create a version env for you, and it will be exactly the same named, like this suffix will be exactly the same. So that's why what makes me think that it actually somehow generates these letters and numbers based on actual absolute path to your project. All right, so imagine if the interpreter wasn't picked automatically. So you have here add interpreter, and you can add local interpreter, and then what happens? Okay, you should choose poetry environment. Oh, by the way, okay, it's actually, oh, it didn't pick it as a, oh, okay, it didn't pick it as a poetry environment. So let's actually use it as a poetry environment. Interesting. It still picked it as a Py project, but didn't pick it as a poetry environment. So we choose poetry environment here, and we have to choose interpreter. We don't have anything in the drop down, so we choose it from the file system. Alright, you should know that where your virtual env are located. This is actually something that I didn't show in the previous video. So poetry has a configuration variable where you define which directory all the virtual envs are located, and you can see here a lot of virtual envs of my projects, and you have to pick the one that you're interested of. So this is Django boilerplate, this one, and here you have to choose Python interpreter. You choose this Python, just Python. Don't choose Python 3 or Python 3.12. Just choose Python. Okay, and I click OK here. Alright, so we chose it. You see it's refreshing the dependencies. Alright, now what happens here when you in the IDE, it has this nice feature called terminal. So you click terminal, and it should actually activate the virtual env you configured there. Okay, you see this is activated, and if you ask Python version, you'll see the correct version. Now you can run Python interpreter, import Django boilerplate, and then you can see the version. All right, this is correct. The other thing you can do, actually, if you click where it is. Oh, interesting. Where's the Python interpreter? Vanished. Alright, I will see how to get it back. Interesting. So where's the Python interpreter tab, which is not here now? Wait, Python packages, notice that. Alright, so yeah, I'll get it back here in the next video and show it to you. So let's install Django. And in order to install Django, we go with poetry add Django. This way poetry is going to pick the latest Django version. And you see it's 5.0.7. Alright, and let's see what's changed in PyProject DOM. So we have Django here. In poetry log we have Django here somewhere. Django, yeah, 5.0.7. So let's also run Python interpreter again, and we can import Django now because it is running in the activated version length. Okay, let's see if Django has the version. Oops, sorry. Version. Yeah, it does. So it works well. Alright, this is all for today. If you have questions or comments, leave them below the video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.